This is Just AMZN on Wednesday, October 24th. No, 23rd. Sorry. Wednesday, October 23rd, 2019. And the clock just changed to midnight right as I was doing, right as I was starting, as I saw 24. It's like, no, I said it wrong. All right. Anyway, here we are on the 5-minute. We were pretty flat overnight, after hours, and pre-market, and opened up just with this, huge bearish candle. It's like, okay, it's all over. It's going, but wait, we have 1747 right here. Ran right into that, got bought back up, rolled back down, bounced off of that without even going that low, and actually formed a little bit of a double bottom here and bounced, retest a neckline, and it ran up. Came right back up, really into the low that we formed yesterday here, and then broke down, came right back up into that level, and had a really great rollover right here. I mean, look at these two candles. Look, we have this location. We almost got up to the 1771 price that we were at yesterday. We put in these lows. I mean, look at this. I hold the cursor here. We're almost there. It's literally, less than $1 away from where it was holding up yesterday and then broke down. Here we are retesting that level from below. So this is when, I love seeing how technical analysis works, because it just works. When it works like this, it's great. When it doesn't work, when the value that you're counting on, then you got to look at what you're counting on. So anyway, this is similar to a tweezer top. It had a bearish candle, then a bullish candle, 1 penny apart for the highs. Really nice upper wick candles that then just rolled down. And this even forms like a head and shoulders here in a 5-minute with a neckline here that just completely broke down, almost came back down to 1747, and then just grinded back higher as the day went on. And so there was some opportunities to, be shorting out the gate and shorting up here and buying down here, and maybe you were trying to get something set up down here. The only real thing that this was bouncing off was really somewhat of this neckline. It didn't quite get to 1747. It seems to be bouncing off of this line, which is however old. It's a really old line from, if I'll highlight, there we go, from February. So, it's bouncing off of everything. What this does look like to me, obviously it's high wave sort of candle on a daily here. That's really what we got. High wave right on the 21. The squeeze, continues being fired, and it's bullish here. And so this would, look like it should rally. We'll see if we have some more bearishness come in tomorrow ahead of earnings after hours, or after the market closes tomorrow. Actually, after hours. Well, no, it is during after hours trading. We'll see if we have any more bearishness come in and trap. Then we could gap up and trap bears. So I'm zoomed in on the 2 days here, but if we zoom out a little bit, we didn't come up as high as this edge of the triangle, and we actually broke down below, this triangle, and it doesn't really fit the triangle shape anymore. What I did notice is what I said yesterday. You could come down here and draw this as like a channel, and I was looking at the body here, but it looks like the body here actually almost catches the low. What? Okay, I'm catching the body and these lows, and it's literally like pennies away, if not right on this exact value here, right at 1742. That's really crazy. I didn't change this angle at all. I just moved that line. Like, I duplicated it, but all I did was just what my eyes are seeing right now. It like perfectly lines up. That's crazy. Okay, so that's what we did. Instead of having a triangle, we're actually making this small downtrend, and this is a flag. I mean, you can zoom back a little bit. No, it's a little bigger than a flag. Yeah, this would be really nice if we were running up further. I mean, it's a big flag. It's a flag. It looks much closer to a double top, and then we're retesting the neckline range here. Really like this close around 1757, but we got back above that today. This is kind of a secondary retest of the breakout here which is fitting with the squeeze. So yeah, I mean, and we're hovering right in here at the upper range on this downtrend line. So we've done this before. We did this before. We hovered through this range for like 2 weeks just to roll over. We're pretty much in here a week and a half, a week to a week and a half, really, and we'll see if we can get any movement. I think we should get movement coming out of earnings. It doesn't really seem like it's setting up to just continue sideways just because of the squeeze in here. And coming back into this one, we had this squeeze form. I mean, it took a while for this one to form, but once it fired, it really started to move. Even though it moved bullish, bearish, bullish, I mean, it still moved. And so that squeeze firing and the momentum being unleashed, it just seems like that's what we should see happen. Even this one, it had the movement as the squeeze fired, and then it went sideways. Well, that's kind of opposite, I guess, because it had the movement while it was squeezing and then stopped moving when it fired. It didn't really move very far here. So we've moved further here than we did through the first 2 candles in this squeeze. So anyway, okay, back down into the 5. Let's look at just today. And shorting out the gates, buying off of 1747. So buying off of 1747, probably buying at 855, 905, somewhere in there. So let's look at calls. This is the 1850 call. We're still looking at the same call. The lows in here it was putting in 855. The low was a little bit above 5. That's really close. This is probably something that, with this being above 5 slightly, you probably would have been setting this up maybe 550, and I don't know if this would have filled here. 550 by 450. Don't know if that would have filled, but that would have moved up to 750. That would have been 2R, and you're done. That was a nice move. You also had a very similar setup here a little bit later, and low here also 550. That didn't run up to 750 either time here, and so this one would have been a little bit tough to be getting into and looking for that full 2Rs. Being a bullish trade, maybe buying it off of 1747, it's going opposite direction of the gap, or I guess in this case it's somewhat a lack of gap. It's it opened nearly flat. So just scalping R would have probably been a better way to play this, even though it had this really large move here. It seems in any other day or any other week when it's not earnings, then you expect a really large move here and some really great opportunities to get in. Your flag here, indecision candle here, inverted hammer here. There are some really good places where this really just paused and showed you, okay, it's got some bullishness coming in. It's breaking out. It's waiting. It comes back to retest this level, which is really broke out of these highs. So, it paused as it went, and it's just a great way to just recognize the candles and what's going on and where they are. Even this one right here, with these right here, right on the 21 and breaking out. I mean, you can get it on this candle at 940, even though it feels like you've missed it. At 940, that would have been this. So getting in at 7, you still could have flipped that out for an R, 7 to 8. Now, would you have still had a stop at 6? In this case, maybe, just because it actually put in a nice base right here, and you're hoping to get a better fill than this. But, I mean, it worked. In hindsight, obviously. So, anyway, okay, we'll come back over here and look at puts up at 1025, 1030, 1020, 1025, probably 1030. 1030 through maybe 1045. See what the puts were doing, because this is a really clear rollover location. And then out the gate, and let's see what these are doing. Okay, so this is the 1700 put, same put we've been looking at right out the gate. 10 by 9. 10 by 9 would have worked, would have just ran. You're exiting at 1747, so that's probably somewhere in here, like 14, 1450. That would have been a run from 10 to 14 pretty quick. That would have been really nice. 10 by 9 works again. Okay, the high at the high of the day today, these candles work in the 10 by 9 range. Let's see if all of these do through 1045. These do, but 1035, 1045. Oh my gosh, 1045. We really could have been buying for 950. Like the premium got sucked out as it started to break down on the 5 minute of the stock. But right here, it totally just had the same value here. And so, again, 10 by 9 would have worked, but hopefully you got a better fill at 950. And then you can, once it starts moving, you can pretty quickly move your stop up here or quickly add more, when you move your stop. And you just got to have the right direction, the right movement. And that actually moved from 10 to 14 again, just like the open was. And then you can see the pivot here where it started to roll over. Not much there, just an R to scalp, and then this one less than R. So the big move was 4R here and 4R here. This one, my guess is you would have been holding out to get to 1747 as you get there. That probably would have been like at 15. But because it already made up to 15, hopefully you set your target a little bit lower than what it already did. It's something that you really gotta study and understand. The best times to say, okay, I'm going to look for the same trade. A lot of times, you set up the exact same trade, it's not going to get there. Something different will happen. In this case, too, you bought 10 by 9 here, it worked quickly. You bought 10 by 9 here, it took a little longer and didn't quite get as high. So, it's not the same setup, even within the same day, the movements that it's making. So, anyway, that's the calls, that's the puts. And take a step back and see, we've got some triangles still going here. We got this downtrend one. We have even today is a bit more of a triangle. We'll just have to kind of wait and see tomorrow how things play out. It'd be great to have some more bearishness. I just don't know if it's going to continue that way. So, be back soon with more. Hope this helps. This is Justin AMZN. Thanks.